right, so we're up on top of the steamboat here, and we've been having some water leakage. We bought this unit used, and we have had some water coming down through the ceiling and the walls. So we originally used a certain product that was called Flex Seal. It's not a very good product for rooftops. Dicor is the best product for the rooftops. Some of the Dicor here. I've now gone through and scraped all the Flex Seal off because it adhered to the paint they had put on top of the old rubber roof sealant. And as you can see here, all the way down, you can see where I've scraped all this stuff off. All the way down. And even you can see deep water damage underneath the seam there. So instead of just doing what I'm doing, which is to deal with it properly with this product for rooftop rubber sealant, they painted over it, and now it's my can of worms. Here's what the back looks like. So this is where I fixed it. It's self-leveling, and so it just creates basically a nice rubber seal all along. And those are all the areas I scraped out that had cracks, and all around the footing for the ladder here. And this corner was particularly bad, so you can see that's how it should look. All right, the beginning of July in Louisiana, we are at the park. Steamboat's behind me, and it is about to open up like it did yesterday. We have a potential chance of super dangerous tornadoes and funnel clouds from a tropical storm that's coming in, and so we're basically just waiting for that. I was out here getting ready to do some work and get on a phone call, and I realized that I needed to do this behind me first. So yesterday we had water coming in the window, pouring down, and we're not exactly sure where it's coming from, but pouring down the inside of the wall. So rather than having to sop it up, I just took some garbage bags and what electrical tape I had, which was vast majority of a roll, and used the most of it in the area where it's more likely to pour in. It seems like it's probably coming in from the top seal. I've done a bunch of silicone treatment, but it's not enough. There's a leak somewhere. So anyway, I didn't have time because it rained so much yesterday, like 4 inches in 2 hours. It's about to do it again. So yeah, exciting stuff, July in Louisiana, and hoping that this actually holds for us and we don't have to deal with mopping water off of our wall and worried about internal damage to the wall, and hopefully then we get a dry spell so I can do more silicone seal. But in the meantime, it should hopefully protect us from those problems. Might have to take the awning up, depending. There's cloud to ground lightning that's coming, and Joy filmed some of it yesterday, so I'll share that with you. We'll see if we catch any of it today. It's a pretty busy day, but yeah, and then huge winds, and these tunnel clouds can come down, tornadoes as it is, and tear off the awning and do damage. So pulled all the chairs away from the side of the steamboat here because the awning leaks a little on here and we need a new one, and there's quite a bit of waterproofing I've done, but it's not complete, so it pours into the chairs here. So I've moved them so we can still sit out here, and everything else, the barbecue. But yeah, my little makeshift window protector. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time with another Boondocking Horrors. Mike Carell here from Boondocking Travelogues with another RV life hack. So one of the things we've encountered is sometimes you end up getting rain down the inside of your wall. It can be around any of the windows. In our case, it's predominantly been the bedroom window. So I'm gonna show you. This is where our bedroom window is, and I've already, you can see the whole window, and I've already removed the rubber seal here, and you'll see in the window, there's this rubber seal, and you pull it back, and you can see that there are holes in that rubber seal. And similarly below it, there are these holes that you can see there's light coming through. I'll try to get a better focus for you. So what you want to do is clean these. These are called your weep holes. And basically water is going to get in the track on both sides, and it's going to be effectively stuck in there if you have a bunch of gunk. And as you can see, there's a bunch of gunk. So I've got my Q-tips over here, and I've got paper towels. I've got some hydrogen peroxide and a bottle of water. I'm going to show you what to do next. The hydrogen peroxide is a great tool because it creates foaming when it touches dead cells. So you'll notice here, I'm going to go ahead and put some hydrogen peroxide in that weep hole, and you'll notice the chemical reaction that's occurring. It's going to start bubbling, and that's going to loosen a whole bunch of this gunk up that's in there so that we can clean these out and ensure that water's not rolling down the insides of our wall. So again, hydrogen peroxide is definitely the trick. I'm on the outside now. You can see where this hydrogen peroxide has poured through that external weep hole, and it's carried out some material and basically cleared it. You see on the other side, this is the other weep hole I'm gonna have to deal with. One of the things that's really nice about the hydrogen peroxide is that it's not harmful to the environment. You know, you can use it in a bathroom. It goes into the black tank, the gray tank, or a septic tank, and it's not gonna cause any problems to the environment. Also, it becomes inert after a short period of time. And we are back inside. I've got my Q-tips here, and you'll see what I'm gonna do is just get these Q-tips down in here, and I'm just gonna start loosening this stuff up. It's pollen and sand and dirt and dead skin cells and all the stuff. But basically, if you use Q-tips, you can kind of loosen and then stuff a paper towel in there to clean that gunk out. When you're satisfied that you've cleaned it all out nicely and that underneath this channel, all of those holes are clear, and down in the deeper channel where it sits, primarily that those two holes are clear and you got most of the gunk out of there, you can just go ahead and seat this back in. And that's going to allow that water to roll out, including condensation. Now I'm going to have to go to the other side and do it. One of the ways that you know, if you look out the window, you look at the side of the vehicle here where this weep hole is, that you've done your job insofar as cleaning those weep holes effectively, is you can take that bottle of water that I mentioned and just pour it into this outer rim. And if you look down there, you can see it. Granted, it's also shedding over the top of the window, but it also is shedding through those weep holes. Mike Carell here with Energy Creations and another RV life hack. It's kind of a budget RV life hack. One of the things that oftentimes people run into while living the RV life, whether that's full-time or if you're just a vacationer, is leaks, water leaks. And we have had persistent water leaks, and we have done a variety of different measures in order to try and curtail that, because ultimately when that water gets into the walls and into the floor, it'll ruin your rig. So for a long time, we were trying desperately to stop water coming from in the roof. We were like, got water on our bedroom floor back here. It's a major problem. We need to curtail this water flow. So of course, assuming like most people do, water comes from the sky. It's likely getting in the roof at one of those seals, and then it's leaking down through the wall and depositing in the floor. Now that's a great logical conclusion. Ultimately, it was wrong, or at least maybe partly wrong. So on the roof, we have done a significant amount of Dicor to fix cracks, and also to deal with seals along the areas where, for instance, our awning used to be. We had filled every single crack we could possibly think of up there, and every single fissure, and every single joint, and ultimately we continued to have water problems. So we moved down and we started sealing around windows. And also, as you've seen in my last RV life hack, weep holes, cleaning those weep holes. Big deal. I'm sure that that was contributing to part of the problem. In fact, I know it was. But the one area that we did not pay attention to, the one area that turns out perhaps is maybe the most obvious, is the floor seals. Okay, check this out. So, budget RV life hack here. I'm telling you, we don't care whether we look like a Phaeton. What we care about is whether we have water on our floor. So I came down here and I noticed that the seal here, the silicone, was all stripped out. I noticed that the silicone here was all stripped out, and ultimately where the foot for the awning used to be. So what did we do? We started using outdoor silicone that is weatherproof and also mold resistant. And I literally came in here and I sealed every single thing all the way down here. I even sealed the inside corners here, because ultimately I thought maybe, just maybe, it's coming in from here. And I am happy to say now that in fact, we have had multiple monsoons here in North Carolina and no new water on the floor, period. Which means that no new damage. Now, we're still gonna have to fix the old damage, but in the meantime, we have stopped more water from coming in. Now, we started with the roof, good idea. Went to the windows and the weep holes, good idea. But ultimately, what was getting most of the water in the floor was simply the runner seal above the basement compartment. So that is a seam to attend to. It's a seam to ultimately drop a few dollars, buy some silicone, get out your caulking gun, and drop a line in there. If you're not concerned about it being perfect and looking fancy, you can definitely solve some of your water problems by addressing this area. Stay tuned for more RV life hacks with Energy Creations. I'm Mike Carell. Catch you guys next time.